Hello guys, welcome to Election Future Today. Trump, on the other hand, responded spontaneously, whereas Harris seemed to depend more heavily on her prepared notes. Reflecting on their performances, here's an observation not based on any formal electoral model, but rather a personal viewpoint. It appears Harris might gain a slight increase in the popular vote, perhaps a percentage point or two. Before we get into the details, please like and subscribe to the video and comment on your thoughts. Which side do you favor, blue or red? This suggests a close race overall. However, a close popular vote does not imply Trump will secure states like New Mexico, Minnesota, Virginia, New Hampshire, or Maine. Even with a tied popular vote, these states are unlikely to swing his way, although he remains a strong contender for the presidency. Overall, looking at traditionally Republican strongholds, Trump's victory in the 2020 election in these areas was decisive. It is unlikely that Kamala Harris will make significant inroads in North Carolina. Similarly, Iowa and Ohio appear securely in Trump's camp, although Ohio might see a closer contest, perhaps within a 15-point margin. The current assessment awaits further polling data, providing a snapshot of the potential electoral map based on recent observations. In terms of state-by-state predictions, North Carolina might see Trump ahead by 5 to 6 points, with Georgia possibly giving him a 3 to 4 point lead. Florida also appears to lean towards Trump. Texas, Arizona, and Nevada are trending towards likely support for Trump, with Arizona showing the most substantial lead for him at this point. Despite these trends, Kamala Harris remains strong in states like California, Washington, Oregon, and Colorado, where her support is robust. Before proceeding further, which state do you think will play the most decisive role in the 2024 election? Let us know in the comments. In the states of Illinois, D.C., Maryland, Massachusetts, Vermont, Rhode Island, and New York, Kamala Harris is expected to perform well, while the outcomes in Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware remain uncertain. In Maine, the 1st District appears likely to favor Harris, whereas the 2nd District leans towards the Republican side. Virginia shows tight competition, with Harris possibly leading by a margin of 3 to 4 points rather than over 5 points. Harris is strongly favored in Hawaii, and Donald Trump is similarly positioned in Alaska. In the Rust Belt, the inclination is towards Trump, whereas Minnesota, New Mexico, and New Hampshire seem to tilt towards Harris. In Nebraska's 2nd District, it is probable that it leans towards Harris. Looking at the overall electoral map, Donald Trump currently holds 312 votes in the Electoral College, while Kamala Harris has accumulated 226 votes. Her efforts may have bolstered her possibilities in New Hampshire, although even this is not a certainty. The full impact of her actions will become clear with further polling data. It remains possible that there could be a significant shift in response bias following these developments. Despite these factors, Donald Trump remains the front-runner in the race for the presidency. At best, Kamala Harris has managed to narrow what was a 5 to 6 point lead for Trump in the polls to a neck-and-neck race. Her post-debate performance managed to adjust the numbers in the debate market by 6 points, although it's noteworthy that the debate market itself is not broadly influenced by unbiased opinions. Examining the current state of presidential betting odds reveals an interesting picture. A look at a popular betting platform shows that, as of now, Donald Trump maintains a lead in Arizona. The situation is similar in Georgia, where Trump is still favored. However, the story changes in Michigan and Nevada, where he is not the favored candidate. Interestingly, his betting odds have declined in these states, adding a layer of intrigue to the analysis. Moving over to Wisconsin, the trend continues with Trump not being the favorite there either. In Virginia, the pattern holds. Despite these betting trends, the recent debate was largely a draw. Trump managed to communicate effectively on key voter concerns, such as immigration and the economy, areas which remain top priorities for the electorate, and he appeared to hold his own throughout the discussion. However, there were moments where his responses could be seen as less than satisfactory, particularly his handling of the question regarding his comment about Harris being black, which did not come across as effective. Frankly, his response to this query was not well received. On the other hand, Kamala Harris, despite presenting a strong and assertive demeanor, might not have resonated as well with the audience, potentially leaving some undecided voters still weighing their options. Please comment with your thoughts on who do you think will win the election. The race remains unpredictable, And while Trump seems to maintain an edge in the Electoral College predictions, the outcome is still very much open to change. Donald Trump seems to be losing ground across various states, and it appears likely that Kamala Harris may attract some of these former supporters. The anticipation grows for the upcoming national poll results. In terms of the popular vote, Trump is nearing the 49% mark. This figure surpasses his previous polls against Biden. Harris, currently at 46.4%, is close behind, with roughly 3% of voters still undecided. Her chances of surpassing Trump in the popular vote are plausible, yet this alone would not secure an Electoral College victory. To win, Harris would need to convert 2 to 3% of Trump's current base and capture the majority of votes from third-party candidates. A significant challenge remains for her in the electoral landscape. Even securing all undecided voters might not suffice. Assume she captures all undecided votes, edging ahead in the popular vote by a slight margin. Yet this scenario still falls short of clinching an Electoral College victory. She would need to convert an additional 2 to 3% of voters in pivotal states. States like Michigan, Georgia, or Arizona might show tighter competition alongside potential shifts in Nevada and Iowa. However, these changes still do not meet the threshold required to secure an Electoral College victory. To illustrate, the electoral map I prepared, assuming she wins over all undecided voters, clearly shows that it's inadequate for an Electoral College win. Conversely, if Trump were to secure all undecided voters, he could potentially extend his national lead by 5 to 6 points, overwhelmingly defeating her in the Electoral College. For viewers who appreciate this detailed analysis of the post-debate electoral landscape, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth political content. Stay tuned for our upcoming video, where we'll delve deeper into the strategies and implications of these electoral dynamics. Here are the 5 key takeaways you, as a voter, must know from the first presidential debate between Harris and Trump, which was held in Philadelphia on September 10th. With less than 2 months until Election Day, this debate carried enormous weight for both candidates. So stick around to see what could shape the 2024 election. The 4th point is the most important. Starting with the first key point, in the debate, Harris didn't waste any time. She immediately leaned into her plan for an opportunity economy. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy, she said, a phrase she has consistently used throughout her campaign. The heart of this plan lies in lifting the middle class, a group she claims has been neglected. Harris emphasized her upbringing, saying, "I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I'm here to fight for families like mine." This was a strategic move. Harris knows that the middle class is a crucial voting bloc in swing states. One of her boldest proposals was an extension of the $6,000 child tax credit. "And I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, she said. This credit would provide much-needed financial relief to young families, helping them afford essential items like cribs, car seats, and clothing for their children. But what's really important here is how this proposal is designed to be immediately impactful. Harris isn't just talking about long-term solutions. She's offering short-term relief in the face of rising inflation and the high cost of living. By promising direct economic benefits, she's making a case that she understands the struggles of ordinary Americans. Trump, as expected, came out swinging. He wasted no time attacking the Biden and Harris administration, branding this as the worst period he's ever seen for the American economy. That she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country, he said. He leaned heavily on his signature rhetoric, defending his tariff policies by arguing that they protect American industries from unfair foreign competition. In fact, tariffs have been a cornerstone of his platform since 2016, and he doubled down on them in this debate. But Trump didn't stop there. In a move that grabbed headlines, he labeled Harris a Marxist. "She's a Marxist, everybody knows she's a Marxist," he claimed, and even accused her of copying his economic policies. He joked, "I was going to send her a MAGA hat," a moment that provided some levity, but also carried his usual aggressive undertone. "She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat." Trump's strategy was clear: paint Harris as a radical, out of touch with mainstream American values. So why does this matter? Both candidates are targeting the same group, working-class voters, but their approaches couldn't be more different. Harris is offering a direct path to financial relief, while Trump is focusing on protecting jobs through tariffs and trade wars. In an economy recovering from the pandemic, the question is, which vision resonates more with voters? Next up is the second key point. Abortion was one of the most heated topics of the night, with stark differences between the candidates. Trump dodged the issue twice when asked whether he would veto a federal abortion ban if Congress passed one. Instead of answering directly, Trump argued that such a ban wouldn't be necessary, saying that everybody was happy with the termination of Roe v. Wade. This avoidance could be a strategic play to avoid alienating moderate voters who might not align with a hardline stance. But Harris did not let up. She came out strong, vowing to sign a bill reinstating Roe v. Wade protections if Congress passed it. This is a critical moment for Harris as she's clearly aiming to mobilize her base, particularly women and young voters who see reproductive rights as a pivotal issue in the upcoming election. Harris also seized the opportunity to critique Trump for his inconsistency on the issue. Notably, Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, had stated that he would veto a federal abortion ban, yet Trump seemed to downplay this, brushing off Vance's comments by saying, "I didn't discuss it with J.D., in all fairness." Moving forward to the third key point, Harris didn't just focus on her policies. She had a clear strategy to rattle Trump, and at times it worked. Throughout the debate, she made several calculated moves to put Trump on the defensive. For instance, she mocked his rallies, suggesting that people leave early out of exhaustion and boredom. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom, she quipped. This jab was subtle but effective, as it forced Trump to shift from discussing critical issues to defending the size and enthusiasm of his crowds.
And guys, more importantly, this tactic threw Trump, of course, on one of his strong issues, inflation. Instead of capitalizing on voters' concern about rising price, Trump found himself defending his rallies, tangling with fact checks and even repeating debunked conspiracy theories, such as the bizarre claim that migrants were eating cats and dogs in Ohio. The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food, he remarked. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing say for a city manager. Harris' ability to go on to the offensive highlights a critical aspect of her debate performance. She is not just here to defend her record, she is here to challenge to Trump. By doing so, she managed to redirect conservation away from one of Trump's core strengths, the economy. Now, the fourth key point, chance. It is the buzzword in every election cycle, but in 2024, it feels more important than ever. Both candidates sought to position themselves as the true candidate of chance. Harris emphasized her vision of opportunity, economy, and highlighted Trump's controversial past, calling his policies divisive and outdated. Harris also took a direct shot at Trump's ambitious but controversial Project 2025, which she described as dangerous blueprint for rolling back key projects. A detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again, she said. This plan, championed by right-wing think tanks, seeks to traditionally restrict the federal government, cut regulations, and limit government oversight. Harris used this to further her argument that Trump represents the status quo of chaos. On the other hand, Trump sought to cast Harris as nothing more than a continuation of President Biden's policies. He argued that her plans for immigration and the economy would lead to further instability, portraying her as a figure of continuity, not chance. His message was clear: Trump's attack on Biden were relentless. But Harris was quick to remind Trump and voters that Biden isn't his opponent in this race. At one point, she quipped, "You are not running against Joe Biden. You are running against me," she said. Well, first of all, it is important to remind the former president, you are not running against Joe Biden, you are right against me. So, if you enjoyed this quick post-debate analysis of presidential election, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. I will see you in next video.